Hey everyone, warm welcome back to another hip longevity series. This one I wanted to call like melty hips or honey hips because it's a delicious lunge series. I wanted to start off with some Pilates core work and then kind of roll that into the flow. So when we're doing lunges, it is really helpful to plug our femur bones into the pelvis to keep us from overstretching and kind of dumping into the joints and to maintain integrity in the lower spine and the pelvis. So the core work really helps with that. So we'll begin like that and then we'll make it a little more flowy. So you might want a couple of blocks for the top of your mat for your practice and meet me on the ground in a constructive rest. Come on down. Take a moment to feel yourself on the ground. Feel your points of contact. Kind of slow down. And sometimes we're looking for these like big joy hits in our life, you know, like the dopamine hits. But what about the like really simple joys, like just the feeling of lying down for a moment, just the feeling of your hands on your body, just the feeling of taking a slower breath. Like instead of the big joy moments, like what about the little micro joys? And expanding our field so that we can feel a lot of satisfaction from those. Okay, you can take your hands behind the back of your head, interlock, and then bring one leg at a time up so that your knees are a little closer in towards you. Than just over your hips, so your quads don't kick in. Have a bit of a space underneath your low back, but then low belly towards the spine. And then we're just gonna exhale and take one leg away. But as we take it away, think someone's like pressing your foot back into your body and you're plugging your thigh bone into the socket as you slowly reach away. Belly down, neutral spine. And then inhale, bring it all the way back up. Other leg. Right leg reaches away, but it plugs in at the same time. Like someone's pushing the arch of your foot and you're pushing into them. And then inhale, draw it in. Exhale, as you go away, it's like there's a vacuum in your hip socket and it's sucking your hip back in. And then inhale, bring it back in. Switching sides there. Exhale away. Vacuum in the hip, suck it up, and draw that back up. Nice. Now as we exhale, go away, we can come up and twist a little towards the right leg, left leg away, suck into the hip, belly down, inhale back into the center, switching sides, vacuum in the hip socket, and then curl across, belly down, maybe shoulder blades off the floor. Bring it back in. Let's do a few more. Long exhale. Vacuum in the hip. Inhale. Long exhale. Now when you're curling up, you'll probably flatten your low back to the floor. That's okay. But get neutral spine when you get back to the middle point, like the dead bug. Vacuum in the hip socket, belly down. Nice and slow, like you're moving through mud. One more both sides. Hip socket plug. So your deep glutes there are in the party. Release it down, do a little windshield wipers. Let your belly get long. That top hip can really extend. Using the glute, sending the hip flexor open of the top hip there. Getting a little spiral there through the lower spine. And then you can draw the legs in, give them a little hug. Go side to side. And you can rock and roll. We're gonna rock and roll right up to a forward fold. dangle. Take a few breaths. Melt into it, maybe a little side to side action. And you can roll up or straight spine up. Squeezing inner thighs. And release your arms. We'll take a few crisscross sun salutations. So inhale up, exhale, forward fold. Long spine, inhale. Find your downward facing dog. Now we're going to take our left foot a little to the right and crisscross the right leg in front. So you've got a down dog, maybe with a bit bent knees, heels off, and a crisscross at the knees or upper thighs. Send your hips back. Get a feeling for this. Breathe. It's always going to be your back leg moving forwards. So we're going to take our back left leg forwards. It's like you're on a tightrope there. Right knee down. And you can inhale, come up, take your hands to the back of your head. Head back, open your arms. And exhale, hands to the floor. Bring your right leg behind your left and forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Long spine. And step back, downward facing dog. This time the left leg goes to the right and the right leg crisscrosses to the left. You can even wag your tail, get long there, hips high. It's your back leg that's going to swing all the way forwards like you're on a tightrope. Bend your back knee, hands behind you, head back, open chest. Take a nice big breath into your lunge and then exhale your left foot behind your right. Forward fold any amount. Could be a little higher here. And then come all the way up and release your arms. Arms up. Forward fold. Inhale, long spine. Step back. Downward facing dog. Right leg to the left, left leg to the right. Bend your knees. Lift your hips high. Back left leg swings around like you're on a tightrope. This time, see if you can crawl up and be on a tightrope lunge. Squeeze your inner thighs, hands behind the back of your head, head back, chest lifts, open it up. Forwards you go. Right foot behind the left, crisscross, fold, come all the way up. Release your arms. Arms up. Forward fold. Downward dog. Symmetrical at first. And then we're going to take the left foot in front of the right, right foot behind, bend your knees. Back right leg swings around to get on your tightrope. Squeeze your inner thighs, climb up. You might bend your back knee a little bit. Head back, open your arms, and then come forwards. Left foot behind the right, little crisscross forward fold there. Come all the way up. And then release and let your feet come more parallel. And this time inhale with parallel feet. Exhale, forward fold. Long spine there. Back to your downward facing dog. Now if you like, you can roll through to a plank. You could lower. Upward dog or cobra there. And a downward facing dog. Feel free to use your knees. Come down to your knees here, like a tabletop. Shift up, so you're standing on your knees. Nice. Okay, let's shift weight into the right leg and bring the left leg up. See if you can do a little hip flexor contraction there, bringing the left knee into the chest. Ooh, it's balancy. And then step it forwards. So you can start by melting into it, melting into that lunge, adjusting your stance. Here you might use blocks underneath your hands. You might take your knee a little over your toes. Now, once you come into your lunge, that vacuum in your hips, suck in through both hips, and then just feel that integrity and kind of lift through your low spine instead of just dumping into the low spine. So feel a little of that, but still let it be pretty melty. And then we're gonna come back. If you're having a hard time balancing, take your back shin on an angle and then see if you can lift. Hands are like tightrope walker arms, right? Maybe a little more of a hip flexion, and then bring it all the way back. Let's switch sides. So left leg fills up with sand, and then see if you can lift a little higher here and bring that forward. So let's melt into it a bit. You can use your blocks and stay low and sort of do this kind of thing, like the runner stretch. Make it yours. Just think about your body's like sticky, warm taffy, and you are just gently opening it up. Now, once you get a little lower, think that vacuum in your hip socket. It's like a pair of scissors sort of squeezing in towards the midline, and let that inform your spine. Of course, you could do any arm variations that you like here. And then we'll come back, balance, maybe a little drawing it in, and then back. Nice, tuck toes. You can sit on your tuck toes and send it back into your downward facing dog. Pedal it out. You're welcome to stay there. You can do an inversion if you like. You can roll it through. Chaturanga, maybe a push toes back, up dog or cobra, and a downward facing dog. Feel free to use your knees in that transition. Back to your tabletop. Come on up. And again, we'll shift into the right leg, take the left leg up, tightrope walker, and this time we're gonna take it out to the side and sink into it a bit there. So you can come in and out. You can use your blocks and be a little more forwards. Maybe you have your hands if you want to come a little lower on the inside, so it ends up being like a lizard lunge, or your forearms. I'm going to give you a couple of options here. If you want, you can have your right hand down. Look back, maybe a little hamstring curl, and a big movement back to catch. And when I catch here, I actually like to sort of wag my foot side to side, so I'm getting the entirety of the quad, or even put the foot in the elbow crease. So there's so many ways to play with this, or come a little lower down. I'm gonna give you one more just for play, but make it melty, make it yours. Is a little bit of like a side split with your leg to the side. Okay, let's take it back and come on up. Find that balance. This time you can try to bring like your elbow and your knee together and then bring it back. Right, let's try the other side. So shift your weight into your left. It's gonna go out to the side and then ground it. Now you can melt. Beautiful, you can use your hands forwards, right? You can come lower into that lizard. I'm just gonna cycle through some options for you to play with. Stop at any bus stop you want to, explore what you want to. Keep breathing. Right, so if you want to fall into your left hand, you can start to twist. You might do a hamstring curl, a big circle back, maybe a wagging of the leg. or a foot in the hip crease. And just remember that sucking of the femur bone into the socket, a little of that, and then let the rest of you just melt it out. There might be a forearm option like that, or like sort of a side split option for the legs a little to the side. Sometimes that gives a little more space in the pelvis. And then you can come back up, ground into that left shin. Can find an elbow to knee like a little sideways and back. Tuck toes, you could sit on tuck toes there and then throw it back into downward facing dog. So you might do a headstand, handstand, forearm balance, you can play there, a vinyasa, or a child's pose. You might feel like settling back into a child's pose. Okay, back up into your down dog, and we're coming back into a tabletop. So this time, instead of going on a diagonal, we're gonna try to go straight out to the side. So you might take your tippy toe down, belly button forwards, and find that external rotation. You might also try for a little hover or like a seal. I'm by a wall, so I'm kind of cheating. And then you can take that leg directly out to the side. So I'm going to give you some options here. First one, melt into like an inner thigh stretch. Yeah, so good. There's a side bend option. And I like to do a side bend sometimes with the leg long and toe pointed forwards. So that's a beautiful way to side bend. One more option from here is you could tuck your back set of toes, come a little lower down, and start to widen your knees. So you're kind of coming into like a Samukhanasana or a frog. Come a little lower, and then even roll from the inner foot to the outer foot. Melt into it. Find that femur bone vacuum. It's like your top of your femur bone's like a nice ball and a mitt. Baseball and a mitt situation is just snug right in there, making nice grooves and lots of fluid all around it. So there's some ease to it, right? You can come up, find that balance, make it as challenging as you want, right? You can find a little play there, and then other side. So I'm just going to show you this way for the other side. So you can go up and out to the side, maybe tippy toe, catch a little air time there if you want, and then the knee goes right out to the side. So first option is to melt this way. And there's a side bend option. You can go through all of them or just stay in one, right? Stay in one that feels good. There's a straight leg toe forwards, Parigasana this is called, gate pose or side bend. Yeah, and then maybe a little wider and coming a little further forwards, tucking that back toe. And you can come into a bit more of a Samukhanasana, or even like a top of the back foot is on and rolling through that hip a little. Could be forearms, play around with it. Find something that feels like honey. May even close your eyes for a couple breaths. It's like you're going in and sort of exploring new rooms of your house. Or some of those old dressers that you've like, oh, I haven't looked at this for a long time. and you're exploring places that haven't been seen in the house. Finding little treasures that you haven't seen for a long time. And deciding what to do with them. Come on up. Okay, so you can find a little balance. And we tuck the toes. Could sit back on that. And back into a downward facing dog. And you can pedal it out, you can play with whatever you like. I'm feeling like inverting, so maybe if you're near a wall, it could also be a little moment to get upside down for a few breaths, or a child's pose. Sometimes when I think about the melty practice, it really has a lot to do with how you're feeling, like that kind of luxurious feeling in your body. It's so personal. How do you get it? Is it with a little effort today? Is it with a little ease? Move like you. If you're up, you can come on down and find your down dog. We've got one more to go here. Okay, you can this time let your right leg go high. You can maybe open the knee, bend the knee, circle the ankle. Some of you might want to take that into like a wild thing or even a wheel. And you can come all the way back, and the right knee comes in and down. So you might spin that leg into pigeon, but I'm going to show you a slightly different option today where you're sitting on your heel, back toes tucked, and it's like your front leg is in Vajrasana, thunderbolt, and your back leg's in pigeon. Tuck the back set of toes, lift up your knee, engage your leg, suck your hips into the socket and lower. Lift up, suck into the socket and lower. All right, so a couple of options here. You can take your forearm to the floor, bend your back leg, and maybe catch it with your right arm and squeeze it in. Sending your right hip back so you're not compressing too much through the right side. Nice, you can let that go. Maybe come up a little higher. Certainly use blocks to come up a little higher. Little inner thigh squeeze, right? Maybe hands behind the head, open it up. Maybe bending the back leg. And coming out of that, step it back, pedal it out. Your playfulness, but I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and then just where do you want to go in your body? Does it involve a little more spice, or do you want to add a little cucumber or sour cream to your experience? Take out the chili peppers. What's for today? Let's switch sides. So back into your down dog. It's the left leg high. Bend the knee, open it up, melt into it. It might come back into a wild thing. Ooh. And maybe you turn your hand behind you, and sometimes you can find a wheel like that. And you can roll it all the way back. It's the left leg high and down dog and the left knee to the left wrist. And you can settle in there. So we're gonna tuck the back toes and a couple times lift the back knee and lower, lift and lower, lift, engage the glute and lower, and you could come down onto the forearm here. You could also swing this leg into a pigeon. You could bend the back knee, work that hamstring first before drawing the leg in. Left hip back. And then you can come a little higher up here too. Maybe getting up on your blocks. It's that suction of the deep glute muscles and the muscles that's around your hip joint that are sucking, maybe the psoas as well, sucking the femur bones into the pelvis, finding that nice fit. And you could get a little upper back opening here, head back. Maybe you're bending the back leg. And you can slowly make your way back. Pedal it out. We're going to come onto the belly when you're ready. Stack the hands and just allow the hips to wobble and melt down. Can add a little swivel side to side with the hips. Feeling that in the low back. And let's take the left arm out to the side. Could be a T, could be a cactus, could be a Y. All of those are options. I'm gonna go for a cactus because it's a little more intense for me, and you can scorpion your top leg a little, keep your tailbone shooting away from your low back, and get a little shoulder stretch. Let's try the other side. Come on into the center and up and back. Take the knees a little wide. Sit back in a wide-legged child's. You can take your forehead to the floor. Let's take 3 breaths there. Slowing down the breath a little bit. And you can come up and bring the knees right in and take a child's there. A few breaths. And this is the moment where if you're feeling like adding a couple more postures to your practice, go for it. You can roll on down and find a little release. Any movements that you're craving, again, get that energy of melting into them. And then land in your Shavasana. You can pull the edges of the mat, lengthen your low back. You might even put blocks underneath your knees or your legs up the wall. Take your time to set yourself up just right. And just here, is there a simple joy that you can connect to? Something really elemental and natural. Whether it be the feeling of your body taking rest or contact on the floor, air temperature on your skin, softness of your breath. And I'm going to invite you to stay here for as long as you want. I just wanted to close our class today with a few different variations of ASAP, as soon as possible in air quotes. So what about as slow as possible, as soft as possible, as soulful as possible, as sustainable as possible, as sincere as possible, as steady as possible, or allow space and pause. So I'm going to invite you to stay here for as long as you like. Take your time. You might take a deep breath in. Exhale it fully. And you could definitely stretch, arch your back, point your toes, roll to the side. And if you like to close your practice now in a seat, you can take a big breath and open your arms, exhale down to your chest. Maybe one more like that. Gratitude for this body, making choices that support you, this practice. Peace.